Hello action figure fans, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This time I am reviewing the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Ranger Slayer action figure. I think this action figure is based off of a character from a comic book story where in a dystopian future Power Rangers were corrupted. So I haven't read this story, but it certainly sounds interesting. This is an interesting action figure. It's a looks like a recolor of the Pink Ranger, but we'll take a look at the action figure in a moment. It comes in a nice window box where we can see the action figure and the accessories. So I bought this in the store in 2020. Very interesting looking action figure. Here's the front with a nice window. Here's a picture that wraps around to the side. So very nice. There's the top of the box. There's the bottom. Here's the other side. Nice picture. Here is the back with a picture of the action figure and manufacturing information. What is missing is a cross-cell showing the other action figures in this Wave 5 of Power Rangers Lightning Collection. And also it would be nice if there was a little mini biography to explain what this character is. So only fans of Power Rangers would really know what this was. So it's a little hard to get new fans if people don't know what it is. So I will open this up and review the action figure in just a moment. Here are the accessories we get with this Ranger Slayer. I'm including this cape as an accessory because it comes off so easily. It just slides around the neck. It's a pliable plastic. So we can put it on and take it off very easily, but it is nicely sculpted. Some tatters here, looks like a little bit of sculpting detail here and some paint, so looks pretty nice. Pretty pliable plastic. And we have an energy arrow, an arrow with some energy attached to it. Looks pretty nice. And then we have 3 arrows together. I think we're supposed to pose this like Ranger Slayer is firing 3 arrows at the same time, I think. Or this is how Ranger is carrying the arrows ready to use. And looks like some sort of weapon. I'm not sure which side is meant to be the handle, but they're both kind of square or rectangular. Nicely painted, but it does fit in the holster, so we'll get to that a little bit later. And then we have a pair of hands. I think it's the same sculpt that we've seen before, just in black. So we have hinges that work, open hand and a fisted hand. So it takes a little bit of work to make these work sometimes, but very, very thin pegs. So I think the pegs are too thin, and I don't like switching the hands because I'm afraid these are going to break because they're just so thin and pliable. And the main weapon here is the bow. So I think we've seen this before, but nicely sculpted. It's kind of a pliable plastic, so we don't want to bend it too much. But a couple of clips here where these arrows will fit in like that. We can snap them into place. I don't know if that's how it's meant to work, but looks alright. Some nice sculpted detail and some painting on it, so nice set of accessories. Here is the Ranger Slayer. Let's see how tall this action figure is. So it looks like it's about halfway between 5 3/4 and 6 inches tall, so maybe a little more than 14.5 centimeters tall. So it's a nicely sized figure. And I thought that this was going to be a simple repaint of the Pink Ranger, but it seems like there are a lot of different parts that were not on the Pink Ranger action figure. So quite a few differences. I think the helmet is a little bit different. There's some parts that stick out a little more here. The arms, I think, well, maybe this arm could be the same. It's just repainted. But this arm certainly looks different with some sculpted detail of armor bits. And here's the belt. Nice little detail on the belt. Here's the holster. Might be a little different from the first Pink Ranger, but this weapon does fit in, kind of fits in, but it interferes with the arm articulation there. And the legs, I think, are the most different, because it certainly looks like a different sculpt, or they somehow added other parts to it. So the kneecaps look very different, and the legs are different. There's no boot here. Now the feet might be the same. There are peg holes on the bottom of the feet, and some of the paint wraps around to the back. So looks pretty good. Alright, let's check the articulation. So we can not really look up very much. We can look down more. We can turn side to side. Just a little bit of head tilting. We have butterfly joints here. So both sides are working. That's nice. And the shoulders go out. There is some soft ratcheting in the shoulders. This side is much better, but I think the sculpted detail is getting in the way here. So we can go around. So that's working. There's no bicep cut. We do have a single jointed elbow and a swivel at the elbow. The side, a single jointed elbow here, better than 90 degrees, and there is a swivel. The wrist we can turn. This one has a hinge, so that's working. This wrist turns, and I think the hinge goes up and down. This is the hand that holds the bow, so it goes up and down a little bit. We have a diaphragm cut. We can crunch forward just a little bit, go back more, go around, turn. So that's working. There's no ab crunch, no waist cut. We can do the splits. Pretty nice. Kick forward that much. Back just a little bit. Kick forward that much. Back a little bit. There is an upper thigh cut here. So that's working. And this side is working. So those were pretty tight, but they are loosening up just a little bit. Double jointed knees. That goes up. And it goes up. Not too bad. Kind of a sitting position there. And there's no boot cut here because there aren't really any boots. With the ankles, we can go down, the tippy toes there. We can go up. And we do have ankle pivot. So I'm pretty happy. All the joints are actually working for me. They do feel a bit thin and fragile, but they're still working. So these leg joints I think are better. These are better on this figure than the first Pink Ranger figure. Those joints just felt a little gummy or rubbery or something, but these feel just a little better. So I'm happy about how the joints are working. Here is Ranger Slayer next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. On the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. Here is Ranger Slayer next to a 6-inch action figure on the left, the Fortnite Legendary Series Havoc action figure by Jazzwares, and a 7-inch action figure on the right, the Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure by Mattel, and Ranger Slayer fits in well with either scale. Here is the Mighty Morphin Ranger Slayer next to the Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger, and I was correct, there are some differences in the two action figures. I was also surprised to see differences in the bows. This is Ranger Slayer's bow, and this is the Pink Ranger's bow. So these are very different looking. So two separate molds. So I was not expecting that. And if we look here, the helmets are definitely different. These two arms are different. These two arms might be the same, just painted differently. I think the upper torso and maybe the lower torso are the same. The legs are certainly different, entirely different molds. The Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger's legs are something strange about the knee joints, which makes her look kind of bow-legged. So I think the Ranger Slayer figure is a better figure all around, but I think it is meant to be the same character, except the Ranger Slayer is from a dystopian future where the Power Rangers got corrupted. But nice looking action figures. The HammerTron Sledgehammer rating for this Mighty Morphin Ranger Slayer action figure is, it's okay. No, it's pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised by how well all the joints worked on this action figure. Although action figures need to have joints that work, that's just the bare minimum of an okay action figure. So considering Hasbro's problems lately as of 2023, I'm not giving this any higher rating because Hasbro really should know better. But this action figure turned out to be okay. The accessories I think were okay. I'm not familiar with the character or the story, but I still bought it anyway to complete the collection, and also because it looked pretty neat. And there is the cape, which just slides over the neck. Very easy to do. So interesting design. So maybe I'll look into the story sometime. So thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this action figure, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time, action figure fans.